talking about organization is operating in a broader environment. Right? Within the organization, you have a society. External environment, you have a society. External micro-related society, macro-related society. So we identified those areas. Micro-related related social impacts we identified. Macro, broader social impacts are global warming, ඒ වගේ දේවල් අපි identify කරගත්තා. Yes, අපි. ඒ කියන්නේ කොහොමද මේවා business එකට බලපාන්නේ? Climate change එක business එකට බලපානවා, right, you know. Biodiversity එකේ change එක business එකට බලපානවා. Rise in sea level business එකට බලපානවා. Global impact අපි macroeconomic, not the macroeconomic, the macro environmental macro impact කතා කරත් social environment. So we identified those. So which means in simple terms, guys, organization is having its own society within, and also the organization is connected with a broader society which is outside. ඉතින් මේක කොහොමද impact වෙන්නේ එතකොට? So organization එකෙන් society එකට, society එකෙන් organization එකට impact වෙන්නේ කොහොමද සහ how we are moving forward facing those social changes we are looking at under this we were talking about. So we said under this subject there are certain key areas are discussed here. Sustainability. We talk about one of the significant one of the significant points we discuss under this is the sustainability, long-term survival. ඒකදී අපි කතා කරා now the sustainability connecting with an organization. We look, well, I mean, there are many models, but commonly used model I was talking last week, the triple bottom line model. If your organization to be sustainable, you need to focus on the people, planet, profit. So these three areas, right? So you need to talk about the people in the sense you talk about the social sustainability. Social කියලා කිව්වහම internal society එක external society එක දෙකම දැන් මේ organization එක ඇතුළේ I told you all there is a society, no? So I mean not like those days the employees are thinking in a different way in current context. එතකොට එතනදී we need to identify what are the strategies we should initiate in managing the internal society. Now HR management එකෙන් කරන්නේ ඔන්න ඕක, internal marketing කියලා internal HR function එක human capital management එකෙන් කරන්නේ ඔන්න ඕක. Right? They are managing the people within the society. And also when you really look at the corporate communication, the broader organization එකේ image reputation එක enhance කරන departments, corporate communication වගේ departments අපි අරගත්තොත්, so they are dealing with wider external society. So ඒතර society people කියලා කිව්වහම external වගේම internal උත් අපි කතා කරනවා. අනිත් එක තමයි planet. අපි planet කියලා කිව්වම මෙතන අපි කතා කරන්නේ මොකක්ද? Ecological environment. Right, which means you are talking about the natural environment. Right? We identified, okay, there are diminishing resources on this earth. Right? Green environment එක අඩු වෙගෙන යනවා, බොන්න පුළුවන් වතුර ප්‍රමාණය අඩු වෙගෙන යනවා, fresh air එක අඩු වෙගෙන යනවා, right? එතකොට crude oil අඩු වෙගෙන යනවා. So all the natural resources are diminishing at a pace, reducing at a pace. So survival of the mankind will be there on this earth if we protect the earth. So that is why environmental sustainability, which means the ecological sustainability, is important. You will do the business, but if you are not making your effort, giving your effort to protect the environment, natural environment, ultimately you also will not be able to survive and the others also will not be able to survive. So that is why these environmental concerns are coming up in big term right now, right? So much of environmental concerns are coming up, right? So those things. I'm not talking about like environmentalist කියන ඔය නිකන් social media මේ set එක ගානෙම නෙමෙයි. In real term, I mean to say, environmental concerns are really popping up right now because this is where you and I have to survive. So if it is continuing in the same way, some of the countries would have been disappeared in by now even. So that is why the concern is so important. At sea level එක වැඩි වෙනකොට then countries like Maldives they are expecting, right, if the sea level glacier is melting like this in the same way, right, and might disappear these islands. No? So environmental concerns are affecting organizations, human beings, and their survival. So ecological environment is another concerning point later. And the other one is the economic sustainability, or even financial sustainability for if the organization to be sustainable. Right, if the organization to be sustainable, the financial sustainability there, then only you can pay for your employees and the other, then for their survival. ඉතින් අපි මෙන්න මේ වගේ points අපි කතා කරා. Right? So මෙන්න මේක තමයි further expansion එකකට අපි ගෙනියන්නේ when it comes for the organization's societal impact points. Right? So let's look at whatever the areas we were talking about so far and take how today I'm going to talk about how stakeholders are connected to the societal impact point. So let's look at one by one. Anyway, whatever the areas we were talking about, let's look at first. We identified under 1.1, the learning outcome 1.1. We identified the societal challenges what the organization can face. Now we see macro level challenges, global perspective. I mean the global level challenges. We can say the climate change, right? Diminishing resources, what I was just talking about. Pollution we can talk about. I mean the issues what we are facing with the biodiversity, right? Certain creatures are disappearing from the earth, right? And so those things are I mean affecting organizations and the earth in higher scales. So you need to look at it and the global regulations that are popping up to protect and so mitigate or minimize these damages like UN sustainability initiatives and the Green Deal. And we saw a couple of videos also. So remember guys, you all also can see those videos. Those are available in LMS. And just have a look at them. General idea එක අරගන්න, broad view එක අරගත්තට පස්සේ subject එක capture කරගන්න ලේසි. මේ subject එකේ හැමතැනම, right, each one of the areas we talk about the sustainability, inclusivity, diversity, I mean let's say transparency, ethical considerations, ඔය වගේ new initiatives, right? Recycling, remanufacturing, circular economy kind of a thing, reducing carbon footprints, so waste management. So those are the areas, the key areas that are discussed under this subject. So get a broader view initially before you go into the specific areas. So when you have the broader view, you know, okay, what are the key areas we need to look at? Now, if you talk about now today's area, what we are going to discuss, how the stakeholders connected with the sustainability initiatives, or the how the stakeholders are connecting with the societal impact points. So I'll be taking, but before that, you need to identify this societal impact means all about what. right? What is it all about? So you need to look at it in that way. So the micro level, in the sense, okay, your organizational level impacts to the society can be the carbon footprints, whatever the things you are manufacturing, right? Have you damaged the, the global ecological environment with whatever you are manufacturing? So how strong you are in reducing your, carbon footprint, along with your recycling and the remanufacturing operations like that. So you need to identify this. You need to identify this. And energy and the water management. And I wonder whether I told you, right? The water consumption in manufacturing, right, is becoming one of the significant points because water is one of the significant diminishing resources because we have only 1.5% of the water from the total water content where we can consume. No, we can't consume seawater. But now the technologies have developed in the world where you can remove the salt component from the seawater and convert into a way where you can consume like normal water, drink normal drinking water. Especially Israel is one of the technologically advanced countries are doing this in mass scale, and that technology goes out to the world for the benefit of the whole communities. So these things, the water, right, and the brands like very recently, the case study, CIM case study last time, it says Levi's waterless CSR initiatives. Levi's waterless CSR initiatives. So they identified for them to manufacture one, an amount of trousers, the huge amount of water they consume. So they are taking initiatives to reduce that water consumption. And there are so many regulations, not only the global level, guys. If you really look at the local context also, there are many regulations for you to maintain when it comes to these things. Now, for instance, if I take a micro level operation, now let's say if you are coming up with a service center, the vehicle service center, and there are regulations where you have to manage the water recycling plant inside the service center. Otherwise, they don't give approval for you to have the car washers, oil changing and these things, because those things also implemented to minimize the damage that can take place to the natural environment. No? Because if, let's say you, for instance, even at a small scale, if you start consuming water to wash vehicles, and if you are, give me 1 minute, guys, for the, it's okay, right? Now, let's say you talk about 2,000, 3,000 service centers in the country and washing about 10,000 vehicles a day. And what type of, the amount of water you consume. No? So, කවදාවත් ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ ලිදෙන් ඇදලා ඉවරලා ඉවර ලිදෙන් ඇදලා ගත්තත් you are talking about extracting water from the earth නේ. ඒතර අන්න ඒක තමයි එතන කියන්නේ. So you need to identify. There was a nice article, right? Documentary in YouTube. I can't. I think from Beyond channel, and Earth is getting imbalanced because of the water consumption. Because the population is extracting water which is inside the earth. Right? ග්ලෝබ් එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන වතුර water content එක එළියට අරගන්න එළියට එනකොට ග්ලෝබ් එකේ imbalance වෙනවා ග්ලෝබ් එකේ speed එක අඩු වෙන එක ඒව පවා identify කරගෙන තියෙනවා because you and I know the world is right ඒකට මොකද කියන්නේ මොකද කියන්නේ කරකිනවනේ ඒක භ්‍රමණය වෙනවනේ right so it has become the speed has reduced there. So we need to identify everything is finally affecting the, mankind who is living, right? Whatever the animals, those who are living on this earth. So we need to be careful in whatever the actions we take in the organizational level. Even the waste management, you can see, okay, see, for instance, if I take you all through couple of this, look at, let me see whether I can take you through this. Oh, okay, I will share you all this link. I think there are some issues with running the link. So I will share you all this link. So it shows how the nature got damaged because of the overconsumption. I think we need to identify this. People are consuming more than what they can. So we need to identify that. So that is imbalancing the nature. So those areas are discussed under this. So how the local community impact to the nature, sustainability of the environment. So we need to identify. ඒතර company එකෙන් environment එකෙන් company එකට global level එකෙන් population එකටයි මුළු earth එකටම. So මෙන්න මේ දේවල් ගැන clear idea එකක් you need to have. Otherwise you can't look at this subject. You can't think on this subject otherwise. Right? And we identified the climate, the European Green Deal, and UN Sustainability Initiatives, 17 Sustainability Initiatives we identified, and we identified the Paris Agreement, right? So have a look at those. මොකද මේවා බලනකොට තමයි අත්‍තරම මේ සබ්ජෙක්ට් එකෙන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මොනවද මේ වෙන්නේ කියන එක තේරෙන්නේ. එහෙම නැතුව නිකම් මේක කටපාඩම් කරගෙන ගියා කියලා ඉවරලා guys. It's not you won't get it. You will ultimately get okay නිකන් වචන ටිකක් විතරක් ඕගොල්ලන්ට එනවා. මොකද මේකේ එන්නේ මොකද්ද කියන එක මේ documentaries බලලා මේ earth එකට මොනවද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා බලලා එහෙම identify කරන්න. එතකොට තමයි now how this green marketing concept, the social marketing concept evolve කියන එක identify කරන්න. Because we were talking about different we were talking about the evolution of marketing also. There we identified at the latter part of the social marketing and the green marketing concept. I mean, there are reasons for these concepts to be appeared. No? Right? There are reasons for these concepts to be appeared. Nikamma මේ concepts appear වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So this is where we need to look at, guys. So identify them and look at those documentaries. ඒ හින්දා තමයි මම කීපයක් මේකට දාලා තියෙන්නේ. සමහර ඒවා I think මේකේ copyrights තියෙන ඉඳලා මේ platform එක ඇතුළේ play වෙන්නේ නැද්ද දන්නේ නැහැ. Let's see. I will share you all the link if that is the case. And we identified, okay, why it is important, why the ethical and the responsible agendas are important. Because when your social initiatives, ethical initiatives, right, ecological initiatives, guys, and the other thing, if you are to enhance your brand value in the corporate organization, these initiatives are playing a huge role right now. Because by looking at the stakeholders movement towards the by looking at the stakeholders movement towards this social, environmental, ecological, sustainability initiatives, if your organization is concerning on those areas, right? If your organization is focusing on those areas, contributing positively to protect those areas, then you can enhance your brand equity. You can enhance your brand value. You can enhance your brand image, reputation, identity. You can enhance it. So organization also will have a long-term sustainability along with this when you manage it. So this is where you need to look at, okay, it's not like, okay, just giving something, right? Indirectly, you're getting a good credibility towards the organization. People start believing the organization, right? people, I mean, and also you are getting free publicity in that. Now, let's say, for instance, if you're contributing a community project, මේවට අපි කියනවා PR campaigns කියලා. එහෙම නැත්නම් CSR campaign, corporate social responsibility initiatives, right? එතකොට දැන් when we are doing something good to the society which is not generating financial return, but we do it for the benefit of the society, and our intention is to uplift the society or protect the green environment, so kind of a thing. So people will start talking about your organization. Even the media organizations will give free publicity for your effort, for your campaigns. Now let's see, for instance, now Otara went and started the embarking campaign, right? Long ago, by the time she was managing the hotel operation. And she started launching the embarking campaign with one intention, right? The intention was what? Intention to reduce the rabies from Sri Lankan soil, right? ලංකාවේ මේ rabies කියන එක අර ජලබීතිකාව අඩු කරන එක තමයි intention එක උනේ. Because we identified, I mean, the importance of it. And it's a social value, because by doing that, you're somewhat contributing to reduce the a burden to the society. So people started supporting it. Even the media started supporting it. I can remember, I think Capital Maharaja contributed that as the media sponsor for that project, embarking project, right? Now, I can even remember Odell. I mean, Odell is into fashion industry. So they went and cleaned the Goldface Green long ago, I mean to say, but it went so viral because Goldface Green එක කියන්නේ Goldface ඒ ටික complete clean කරලා ඒගොල්ලෝගේ project එක අරගෙන කාලයක් තිස්සේ කරා beach cleaning projects ඒ වගේ දේවල්. So those are initiatives that are going beyond your core business functions, core business values. එතකොට දැන් ඒකෙන් මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? You are getting non-financial benefits. Non-financial benefits. So the non-financial benefits කියලා කියන්නේ මොනවද? Goodwill එක enhance වෙනවා, reputation එක enhance වෙනවා, company එක දිහා තියෙන image එක enhance වෙනවා. Right? So those things are happening. එතකොට ඔන්න තමයි CSR initiatives වලින් අපි කරන්නේ. Now let's say, for instance, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, right, was running a project to eradicate polio in South Africa. Yeah, polio eradication campaign in South Africa, right? African region. So the campaign organized by whom? The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Gates Foundation. Now, Warren Buffett being one of the top billionaires by that time, right? And even currently one of the top billionaires anyway. I think by that time, it was in 2016 or 17. So Warren Buffett donated $32 billion for that particular charity, right? Polio eradication campaign. Now see, so Gates Foundation එකෙන් campaign එක කරාට වඩා ලොකු mileage එකක් ආවා Warren Buffettගේ ඒ initiative එක, because Warren Buffett would have been easily ignore the Gates Foundation and started his own foundation and run the campaign, because he is one of the top billionaires in the world. He would have had his own foundation. දැන් ලංකාවේ ඉන්න අර පාර්ලිමේන්තු කාර්යය ටික වගේ සමහර ඉන්නවනේ එක එක පදනම් කියලා දාගෙන බෝඩ් ගහගෙන පදනම් කියලා දාගෙන ඒවයින් සල්ලි එක්කව කරලා මේ right අර ඒ മന്ത്രി ලගේ ගෙවල් වල ෆවුන්ඩේෂන් දාගන්නේ අර ඒ වගේ නෙමෙයි. I mean to say, now these people are genuinely contributing. And also, guys, when you run these initiatives, these are non-financial benefits, right? So you can use your tax money to do these campaigns, do these social responsibility initiatives, you know. මේවා use කරන strategically අපිට implement කරාම you can enhance the goodwill, image, the positive reputation, identity, equity of the organization. ඉතින් මේක තමයි අපි යන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් මෙන්න මේවා අපි enhance කරගෙන යන්න ඕනේ. මොකද මේ පැත්ත දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට identify කරගත්තොත් Gen Z කියන population එක. Right? Gen Z, the population which comes, which identified between 2000 to 2012, 1998 to 2012 කියලා කියන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. but එහෙම clear demarcation එකක් නැහැ. let's say 2000 ඉඳලා 2012 වගේ වෙනකන් අපි කතා කරන population එක Gen Z. Right? Now this population grew with these concerns, right? Inclusivity, diversity, environmental sustainability, ecological concerns. කියන මෙන්න මේ දේවල් significantly discuss කරන environment එකක තමයි මේ population එක generate වෙන්නේ. එතකොට whenever they are consuming products, also they are highly focused on organization, those who are contributing to this diversity, inclusivity, So those things, this environmental sustainability, recycling and remanufacturing, circular economy. So those areas. එතකොට දැන් organization එකක් විදියට, if you are to survive, you need to look at those areas. Otherwise, you will not be able to identify, because stakeholder behavior, focusing on these areas also significantly changing. So other areas අපි කතා කරනවා. Now see impact on the organizations, right? The talents එන එක, confidence build වෙන එක, responsible, the customer preference increase වෙනවා brands වලට, right? ඒ දේවල් අපිට මේකත් එක්ක යනවා. So global frameworks, we were talking about the green claim, right? Ethical considerations, we were talking about ethical, like supply chain and the partnership approach, inclusive ethical societies, so those areas. Decarbonization approach, and whatever the initiatives you are taking to reduce the carbon footprint to the world, right? Because that is becoming one of the significant concerning point right now, right? So we talk about reducing the carbon footprint. Yeah. So when we were discussing, right? How transparency, sustainability reporting, right? Because one thing, you need to be transparent in your approach, right? You need to be transparent in your approach, whatever you do. So, so equality, diversity, because everybody should be treated equally. Right? So with that only, this women empowerment concept came up, if you all really want to know. Right, and equal power concept came up, because there's no difference between men and women. So women get exposed to the workforce, and women empowerment workforce developed. So women started contributing to the global economy, right? Moving away from the household responsibilities. So those things. Inclusive culture, rather dividing the organization and the environment by looking at different races, communities, religions, skin colors, so those things. So those things we need to look at when we consider, right? So there are different certifications like B Corp certifications and environmental related certifications are there, where you need to identify, where you need to keep your eye on to enhance your trust and the credibility. Because if you are a B Corp certified company, if you are certified by GRI, TCFD, so I will show you all the website of these things. right? Then those companies becoming so recognized because B Corp is talking about contributing to the social well-being and the ecological well-being, right? So those things, green financing, TCFD especially, right? So those organizations are uh, developing certain standards connecting to the sustainability. So, I mean, if you are following those sustainability, those organizations will reward you with their certifications. And even those certifications you can use in gaining your business advantage. It's like even getting ISO, SLSI, C certification kind of a thing. If you are a B Corp certified organization, GRI certified organization, TCFD certified organization, I will show you all the website of these organizations. So which means you are somewhat a recognized organization in the industry. හැබැයි මේ මට B Corp ලංකාවේ නැහැ B Corp GRI මම හිතන්නේ TCFD මට අහුවෙලා නැහැ. And guys, I mean, don't expect organizations that are to be there in Sri Lanka because this is the UK syllabus we are talking about. So look at these organizations, and for your knowledge, look at the Sri Lankan organizations, also those who are contributing on the ecological and the social sustainability initiatives. Think ඒවත් ගැනත් බලන්න, right? Then you can get a clear idea. So we were talking about this. So I don't know. So let's move on with this since we were talking about. මේ හැමතැනම මේ subject එකේ initiate කරන්නේ මෙන්න මේවා සම්බන්ධව. So now today we are looking at how customer awareness and the stakeholder concerns connected to the social and the environmental concerns, which means the social impact, right? So how stakeholders are connected with this. So let's look at that particular area first. But any questions from your side before that? You all have any questions before we move on from here? මොනවා හරි තියනවද? Anyone? මම ඔය පොඩක් ගිය සතියේ කරපු ටිකක් ආයි මතක් කරේ. Anything. Action, Dinuka, Chamal. Any concerning points? Okay, seems no. So let's look at, I mean, our learning outcome 1 assessment criteria 1.2 is talking about analyze customer awareness, customer attitudes and behavior relating to the social, environmental, and ethical landscape. Now, guys, this is changing at a pace right now, if you really want to know. Customers are exposed to data right now. Customers are exposed to this information right now. So these factors are changing at a pace right now. Customers are well aware on certain regulations that are connected to the environmental, social, and initiatives. So their attitudes are changing towards that. That's what I said, okay, especially when it comes for the millennials and the Gen Z, especially the Gen Z, right? They are more towards in global context. I'm not talking about the local context. When you really look at their research facts, they are more towards focusing on circular economy. Consume the limited consumption, or they don't go into overconsumption, right? And they are focusing on the environmental initiatives, sustainability. So these customers are becoming more aware of it. That is one generation. Not only that generation, guys, now even the education system and things that are changing in the global perspectives are talking about this environmental initiatives. And even the generation next, the baby boomer, generation Y, they are becoming now more knowledgeable on the concerning point, these ethical values, environmental values, the social values, ecological values. So these things are now discussed more than before. So each one of the societies or the generations that are there right now, තාම අපිට තියෙනවනේ generation baby boomer generation එක තාම ඉන්නවා, right? Generation X, Y, Z, millennials කොහොමද තාම ඉන්නවා ඒගොල්ලෝ. And the alpha generation is also popped up right now. They have not come into the corporate world still, but alpha generation is also there. And after a couple of years, the beta generation will pop up. So different generations you will experience, guys. ඒතර ඒගොල්ලෝන්ගේ awareness එක මේක සම්බන්ධව. ඒගොල්ලෝ මේක දිහා බලන විදිය, ඒගොල්ලෝ මේකට respond කරන විදිය අනුව අපේ strategies අපි වෙනස් කරන්න වෙනවා. එහෙම නැති වුණොත් අපිට survive වෙන්න බෑ. This is where we talk about. So, I mean, here, without limiting for customers, I'm going to talk about wider stakeholder community. Guys, the first thing, you need to identify who are the stakeholders, right? So you're dealing with stakeholders in the organization. Stakeholders are identified as whoever who is having interest and the influence towards the organization. Whoever who is having interest and the influence towards the organization. There are a few different models we can easily identify. So we can categorize the stakeholders as internal stakeholders and the external stakeholders. Very basic model. Internal employees, employees lagattahama you can talk about operational level employees, management level employees, strategic level employees. So you can talk about investors and shareholders. So they are internal stakeholders. External stakeholders, you have your customers, you have your suppliers, you have your channel intermediaries, you have your government organizations, you have your competitors, you have general public. So when you're looking at the societal focus, when you're looking at strategic initiatives on environmental perspectives, social perspectives, good governance perspectives, first thing you got to do is to identify your stakeholders. Internally, අපි කාත් එක්කද deal කරන්නේ? Externally, අපි කාත් එක්කද deal කරන්නේ? කවුද අපේ organization එක දිහා බලාගෙන ඉන්නේ? කවුද අපේ organization එකට interested parties? So we need to look at those. We need to look at those. Then only we can identify what strategies, because the strategy what you are implementing for customer is not the strategy you are implementing for the supplier. What customer is expecting you is not what supplier is expecting from you, right? So you need to look at it in that way. So of course, both are expecting you to be ethical. Both are expecting you to be environmentally conscious, right? Sustainable, right? Both are expecting you to practice good governance. Those things are there. But you need to identify as an organization when you're designing strategies, you need to identify these stakeholders and their influence and their interest properly. මොකද මේ හැම stakeholderකම එක එක විදියට නෙමෙයි interest එක තියෙන්නේ. So ඒක බලන්න අපි different metrics අපි use කරනවා. මේ metrics ඔක්කොන්ටම කලින් අපිට කරන්න තියෙන දේ තමයි organization එක අරගෙන ඒ organization එකට සම්බන්ධ stakeholders identify කරගන්න. So this is one of the models what we can use, internal external classification. There's another model. මේක ඇත්තටම beyond your syllabus. මම මේ කතා කරන්නේ මොකද මෙතන stakeholders ලා touch කරන්න ඕනේ ඉඳ මම මේ models දෙක හරි තුනක් හරි ගන්නෙ. This is beyond your syllabus, but just identify one thing. So there's another model called linkage model. There's another model called linkage model. ඒ කියන්නේ organization එකට තියෙන stakeholder linkages මොනවද? මේක organization එක නම් under linkage model we identify one linkage called functional linkage. Functional linkage. Linkage, L-I-N-K-A-G, linkage. Functional linkage, which means what? Organization එකේ functional, ඒ කියන්නේ operation එකට directly contribute කරන stakeholders තමයි මේ functional linkages එකේ ඉන්නේ. ඒකේ එක set එකක් අපි කතා කරනවා input functions කියලා, අනිත් set එක අපි කතා කරනවා output functions. Input functions කියලා කිව්වම අපි කතා කරන්නේ මේ employees ලා suppliers ලා වගේ කට්ටිය. ඒ කියන්නේ operation එකට inputs දෙනකම්. Output linkages කියලා කියන්නේ මේ operation එකේ products and services consumption එකට සහ intermediary operation එකේ logistic distribution වලට සම්බන්ධ වෙන කට්ටිය. ඒතකොට එතනදී අපිට කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් customers. Then you can talk about channel intermediaries like wholesalers, retailers, agents, brokers, franchises. And ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි අපේ output linkages විදිහට ඉන්නේ organization එකේ function එක smooth කරන්න. So අපි identify කරගන්න ඕනේ analyze කරලා ඉවරලා කවුද අපේ stakeholders ලා කියලා. මොකද අපි ESG එහෙම නැත්නම් environmental social governance initiatives එහෙම නැත්නම් CSR corporate social responsibility initiatives එහෙම නැත්නම් PR initiatives public relation initiatives implement කරන්න නම් අපි identify කරගන්න අපේ stakeholder network එක මොකක්ද කියලා. ඒතර මෙන්න මේ වගේ models පාවිච්චි කරලා අපිට stakeholder network එක identify කරගන්න. තව connection එකක් තමයි enabling stakeholders. Enabling, right? Government organizations, right? Stockholders, third-party investors. ඒගොල්ලන් තමයි organization එකේ operation එක enable කරන්නේ. Permissions දෙන්නේ government organizations. UDARDA තමයි building එකක් හදනකොට permission දෙන්නේ. They are the enable linkages. Organization එකට link වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගෙන් තමයි අපි green lights ගන්නෙ. investors ලාගෙන් තමයි අපි green lights ගන්නෙ. enable linkages. තව තියෙනවා linkage එකක් diffuse linkages කියලා. diffuse linkage. ඔයගොල්ලෝ linkage model කියලා Google කරොත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ඒක මේ diffuse linkages. අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම NGOs අර සද්ද වහලා ඉන්නවා හැබැයි මොනවා හරි දෙයක් වෙච්ච ගමන් එළියට එනවා whistle blowers. Right? Social influencers වගේ කට්ටිය diffuse linkages. So they don't continuously interact with the organization, but they are getting activated if you do something wrong. Now, let's say, for instance, I mean, advantage එකේ mattress case එක මතකද ඔයගලන්ට? Right? Haley's advantage එකේ mattress ගෙනල්ලි වෙලා එතකොට දැන් ඒකේ scenario එකේදී who was I mean, basically making a noise. The whistleblowers were diffuse linkages. They are not the functional linkages. They are not the normative linkages. They are not either enabling linkages, but diffuse linkages තමයි සද්ද දාන්න පටන් ගත්තේ නේ. Social influencers ලා. හැමතැනම දැන් තියෙන YouTube කාර්යෝ ටික එහෙමනේ ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට මොනවා හරි දෙයක් වුණාම මේ සද්ද දාන්නේ දැන් අර මතකනේ දැන් මේ මොකද අර තවත් එක පිස්සෙක් ගිහිල්ලි වෙලා බදුළු බණ්ඩාර වෙලා ෆ්ලඩ් කියලා අර මෙයත් එක්ක නස්දේල් එක්ක කියලා තිබ්බා. ඊටවසේ බදුළු බණ්ඩාර වල ෆ්ලඩ් කියලා කිව්වම බදුල්ලනේ බණ්ඩාර වල හරි. එහෙ ෆ්ලඩ් ඇත්තටම ඒ ඒරියා එක ඩැමේජ් වෙලා නැහැ හොටෙල්ස් වලට ඉතින්. ග්ලෝබල් ලෙවල් එකට වැරදි මැසේජ් එකක් ගියාම අන්තිමටම what will happen because the clashes නේ. Industries වැටෙනවා, economies out යනවා. So ඒ වගේ දේවල් there should be proper regulation on the YouTubers in Sri Lanka and these stupid TikTokers in Sri Lanka. Right? Diffuse linkages. We need to identify. And also there's another linkage called normative linkages. Normative linkages. They are somewhat similar for us, competitors, trade associations, or similar trade associations, political groups, right? I mean, they also keep their eye on your organization. So like that, we need to identify කවුද අපේ normative linkages, කවුද අපේ diffuse linkages, කවුද අපේ functional linkages, කවුද අපේ enabling linkages. මොනවද කියලා අපි stakeholders ලව identify කරගන්න. මොකද මේ එක එකක් stakeholders ලට එක එක විදියට තමයි ඒගොල්ලොන්ගේ interest එක තියෙන්නේ organization එකට. influence එක තියෙන්නේ organization එකට. ඒගොල්ලෝ organization එක දිහා බලන විදිය එක එක්කෙනාගේ පැත්තෙන් වෙනස්. So we need to identify them. Right? We need to identify them. So these initiatives, when we are taking, right, green related, environment related, ethical initiatives, so we need to identify their likings, their preferences, their, in the sense, the stakeholders. අනේ හින්දා තමයි මෙන්න මේ stakeholder analysis එහෙම ගොඩක්ම වැදගත් වෙන්නේ අපිට. So identify that. So මේක එක model එකක් අපිට identify කරගන්න පුළුවන්. මේක linkage model එක කියලා කියන්නේ. So there's another model we can use to identify the stakeholders. මේ දෙකම ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ theory එකේ theories විදිහට කතා කරන්න නැහැ. We call Mendelow's model. Mendelow's matrix. We call it Mendelow's matrix. Mendelow's matrix. එතන මේකටම කියන තව නමක් තමයි power interest grid එක. එක dimension එකක් power එක, අනිත් dimension එක interest එක. bank interest එක නෙමෙයි, I mean towards interest towards something. කැමැත්ත ආසාව කියලා කියන්නේ. So power එක low ද high ද interest එක high ද low ද කියන එක මත අපි අපේ stakeholders ලව categorize කරනවා. Now, let's say, for instance, you identify the stakeholders by using the linkage model. මේගොල්ලෝ තමයි stakeholders. දැන් මම මෙතන ගන්නවා investor, මම මෙතන ගන්නවා government organization එකක්, inland revenue වගේ organization. The inland revenue වගේ organization එකක් ගත්තොත් they are highly powerful නේ. They are highly powerful. Right? Now, their interest is also very high towards you if you are a good taxpayer. Right? Their interest is so high. Your employees, I mean, let's say operational level employees, they don't have high power. They are here. But their interest is high towards the organization because they are surviving based on because of the organization. Right? Because they want to protect the organization. In general context, I mean to say, සමහර ඒගොල්ලන් ඉන්නවා ඉතින් organization එකම වට්ටල දාලා. Yeah. Right? ඒ වගේ ඉන්නවා. So like that. So we have removed 3 staff members from KDC. ඒ වගේ මේ අයලා. So වගේ තමයි. Right? So unethical behaviors based කරලා. ඉතින් ඒ හැම employee මේ category එක නෑ. You need to identify. So Mendelow's matrix එක කියන්නේ මොකක්ද guys? Mendelow's matrix එකෙන් කරන්නේ. Right? අපි අපේ stakeholder grid කරනවා, analyze කරනවා මෙන්න මේ power කියන parameter එක, interest කියන parameter එක අතර. Supply ගන්න උදාහරණයක් විදිහට. They are less power. Supply doesn't have a power. I mean, not all suppliers. There are certain suppliers, those who are having high power. Companies begging on suppliers sometimes. Right? Companies kneeing on suppliers sometimes. Because a company survive because of the supplier. If that is the case, the supplier is highly powerful. අපිට commonly supplier less powerful කියලා කියන්න බෑ guys. සමහර customer suppliers ලා ඉඳ තමයි company එක survive වෙන්නේ. right? ඒතර ඒගොල්ලෝ high power. සමහර suppliers ලා neglected. කියත් එක නැතත් එක. low powerful suppliers. So like that මෙන්න මේ grid එක පාවිච්චි කරලා අපිට මෙන්න මේ අපි identify කරගත්ත stakeholders ලාව analyze කරන්න පුළුවන්. We can analyze by using the stakeholder analysis model, the Mendelow's model. Right? Let's say your competitors, for instance. So your competitors are, I mean, in the market they are so powerful, but inside I mean, they can't kind of influence the organization. Influential power is not there for organizations. They are somewhere here. Right? and they are highly interested towards the organization. So like that, guys, you need to identify your stakeholders and plot where they are. I mean, where the respective stakeholders are. When you do that, you can get a clear stakeholder mapping. මේ විදිහට අපි analyze කරනකොට කියනවා stakeholder mapping කියලා. Right? The stakeholder mapping කරනවායි කියන. Right? එතකොට අපි stakeholder ගැන clear identification එකක් අරගන්නවා. දැන් අපි level 7 එනකොට අපි stakeholder mapping එක කරනවා මේ models තුනම එක්කව කරලා. internal external classify කරලා linkage එක මොකක්ද කියලා බලලා power interest එක මොකක්ද කියලා බලලා ඉවරලා ඒගොල්ලෝගේ behavioral factors analyze කරනවා. level 7 එකේ post graduate ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ final stage එකේ අපි කතා කරනවා එන්නේ models integrate කරලා අපි analyze කරන විදිහ. So like that, guys, but I mean here we are talking about how the stakeholders. එතකොට මේ stakeholders එක කවුද කියලා identify කරගන්නේ නැතුව if you are trying to what do you call design your strategies, then it will be a concern. It will be a concern. පැහැදිලිද මේ stakeholder understanding එක? Any question? Stakeholders ලා කියන්නේ කවුද කියලා පැහැදිලිද?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So let's look at oops. Sorry about it. Then මෙතන අපි කතා කරන්නේ now see there are different stakeholders are having different expectations. දැන් මෙතනදී අපි බලන්න ඕනේ right okay දැන් අපි stakeholders ලාව analyze කරලා ගත්තාම එක stakeholders ලාගේ මෙන්න මේ environmental, social, economic, diversity, inclusivity අර ඔය කියන ethical parameters සම්බන්ධව good governance සම්බන්ධව right තියෙන expectations මොනවද කියන එක තමයි අපි මෙතන identify කරගන්න. Right? So these things are changing now. For instance, what I was saying now, when it comes for customers, දැන් මෙතන තියෙන කීපයක් විතරයි. Now when it comes for customers, now they are now not like those days. Customers are demanding organizations to be transparent. Ne? Right? They want organizations to reveal whatever the things they do properly, you know. ඒක සමහර වෙලාවට in certain scenarios even the cost factors are transparent right now. You know, unethically price කරන්න බෑ. Those things are there. Sustainability customers are expecting, ethical sourcing customers are expecting. Now let's say you're making your customer happy by damaging the natural environment. So customers will not be happy. Customer will not purchase your product. You know. So these things you need to identify. So employees also now, employees, right? They are highly worried about the culture within the organization, right? This is not the industrial revolution period, right? They are highly worried about the culture right now. So organizational behavioral perspectives. Then organization whether the organization is a purpose-led organization, whatever your activities are purpose-led activities. So purpose-driven activities. So what do you mean by the purpose-driven activity? Because when you look at an organization, right, you need to look at, okay, the purpose behind the existence of this organization. Any organization අර සිංහලෙන් කියන මිහිපිට මේ organization එක තියෙන හේතුව මොකක්ද? Existence of the organization. Why this organization? So that is the purpose. Now Unilever says their purpose as convert the every place as a sustainable common living place, right? Convert the environment as a sustainable common living place එකක් විදිහට. ඒ කියන්නේ හැමෝන්ටම ජීවත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් තිරසාර පරිසරයක් ගොඩනගන එක තමයි අර ඒගොල්ලෝගේ purpose statement එකේ තියෙන්නේ. Unilever ලා. දැන් සමහර purpose statements කියලා කියන්නේ guys vision එක ඇතුළේම තමයි purpose statement එක තියෙන්නේ. මෙතන අපි organization එකක් ගත්තාම organization එකක මෙන්න මේ organization hierarchy එකේ උඩම තියෙන layer එක තමයි corporate එක. නැත්නම් strategic layer එක. දැන් මේ corporate layer එක තමයි organization එකේ vision එක, organization එකේ mission එක, organization එකේ purpose එක, organization එකේ තියෙන ඕන core values මොනවද, organization එකේ culture එක මොනවද, organization එකේ structure එක මොකක්ද, organization එකේ strategic direction එක මොකක්ද කියන ඒවා වගේ decide කරන්නේ. මෙන්න මේ ටිකට අපි කියනවා strategic intent කියලා. Technically අපි කියනවා මේකට strategic intent කියලා. So who is deciding the strategic intent? The topmost layer of the organization is deciding the strategic intent. So they only decide the purpose of the organization. මගේ organization එක මොකක්ද ඇත්තටම මොන විදියටද තියෙන්න ඕනේ කියන purpose එක decide කරන්නේ කවුද? අන්න අර corporate layer එකේ ඉන්න කට්ටිය, right? strategic level එකේ ඉන්න කට්ටිය, right? එතකොට ඒගොල්ලන් තමයි ඒක සමහර organization වල vision එකයි purpose එකයි එකයි. So we need to identify that. So when you look at the purpose statement, some organization එකේ purpose statement is one thing but they are doing something else. Purpose statement is one thing, but they are doing something else, which means it is not a purpose-led organization. Even when it comes for purpose-driven organization, what you see here, the purpose-driven organization, guys, even your whatever the activities you do, if you, I mean, the things you manufacture, where you serve road market, where you do your campaign, whenever you select the CSR initiatives, ඒ හැම එකක්ම ඒ purpose එකත් එක්ක බැඳිලා තියෙන organization. Organization එකේ purpose එකත් එක්ක බැඳිලා තියෙනවා. දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට ගත්තොත් let me, I mean, ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මතක ඇති Unilever එකෙන් ගෙනාවු Pureit එක. දැන් Unilever එකෙන් ගෙනාවු Pureit එක මම කියන්නේ සමහර කට්ටිය මම අහලා තියෙනවා ඒක ඒගොල්ලෝගේ purpose එකෙන් පිට කියලා. ඇත්තටම නැහැ, ඒක purpose එකෙන් පිට නෙමෙයි. They are spot on with the purpose. Right? ඒ දැන් Unilever කියලා කියන්නේ right, okay, you are talking about FMCG organization එකක් නේ, fast moving consumer goods manufacturing organization එකක්. So their purpose, what I just said, sustainable common living place එකක් හදන එක තමයි purpose එක. ඒක ඇතුලේ water purification එක කියලා කියන්නේ major component එකක්. ඒතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ purpose එකෙන් එළියට ගිහිල්ලා නැහැ මේ item එක ලංකාවට ගෙනල්ලා introduce කරා කියලා. So you need to idea. අන්න ඒගොල්ලෝ TV එකක් විකුණනවා නම් අන්න purpose එකෙන් පිට. අන්න purpose එකෙන් පිටනේ. So you need to identify that. Okay. So purpose-led organization, purpose-driven approach එක කියලා කියන්නේ තව approach එකක් මිනිස්සු මාර විදියට මේ දැන් ඒක ගැන concern කරන employees also same. right employees ලා බලනවා මොන විකාරයක්ද මේක මෙහෙමද මේක නෙමෙයිනේ අපි කරන්න ඕනේ කියන එක. So people are thinking like diversity, they are expecting, right? I mean, equality, සමානත්වතාවය, right? එතකොට inclusive culture කියන එක ඒගොල්ලෝ expect කරනවා. work life balance එක. දැන් work life balance එකත් අපි misuse කරනවා කට්ටිය. right? They are expecting, right? So මේවා අපි manage කරගෙන ඉස්සරහට ගියොත් තමයි we will be able to build a sustainable organization. If not, organization will have a sustainable concept. So we need to look at investors. Investors are also highly worried about the ESG, environmental, social, and the governance. Good governance, right? මොනවද අපේ ethical practices, ethics, morals, philosophies, principles. මොනවද? අපේ operation එක පිටිපස්සේ තියෙන morals, principles, philosophies මොනවද? Good governance මොනවද? right? අපි ඒ කියන්නේ අනිත් ඒගොල්ලන්ට මොනවා වුණත් කමන්නේ අපේ profit එක ගැන විතර නම් බලන්නේ. So are we talking about good governance? Are we talking about ethicals? Are we talking about the social well-being, social value delivery? No, so investors also now know very well the organizations are surviving. Organizations can easily grow when organizations are focusing on those initiatives. So this is where you bring those values. This is where you need to look at this local communities and so they also stakeholders. I think make ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කරන්න තියෙන the first thing you need to identify, I mean, who are the stakeholders connected with your organization. සහ ඒ stakeholders ලා මෙන්න මේ ඒගොල්ලෝගේ values කොහොමද change වෙන්නේ over a period. right? එතකොට ඒගොල්ලොන්ගේ thinking patterns, ඒගොල්ලොන්ගේ morals, ඒගොල්ලොන්ගේ beliefs, because these things are changing නේ. අපි ඉස්සර හිතපු විදිහට නෙමෙයි දැන් හිතන්නේ. Because the way we expose to the information, the way we expose to information and how we engage with the society and what we see day in and day out is completely different than the past. So with those learnings, attitudes towards the environmental initiatives, social initiatives are changing. එතකොට දැන් අපි identify කරගන්න ඕනේ අපේ stakeholders ලාගේ එක කොහොමද change වෙන්නේ කියන එක. right? අපේ stakeholders ලාගේ ඒ values කොහොමද change වෙන්නේ කියන එක. We need to look. So one for example, the purpose over profit, right? So are we really going along with the purpose of the brand, of the product, of the organization? අපි ඒ purpose එකත් එක්කද යන්නේ? Trust එක, integrity එක, credibility එක, අපේ sustainable initiatives, right? මේ කතා කර දැන් මේකෙදි ඕගොල්ලෝ බලයි දැන් මේ හැම තැනදීම කතා කරන එක වචන සෙට් එකක් තියෙනවා. මම මේකයි කිව්වේ. ඒ ටික පොඩ්ඩක් identify කරන්න. උදාහරණයක් විදිහට sustainability, equality, inclusivity, right? Circular economy, integrity, credibility, transparency, good governance, මෙන්න මේ දේවල් අපි එක එක dimensions වලින් බලන විදිය තමයි අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ මෙතන. right? එක එක dimensions වලට මේක බලපාන්නේ කොහොමද? මේක business එකට බලපාන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක තමයි අපි මෙතන ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. සහ මේක use කරන්නේ කොහොමද අපේ strategic initiative එකක් විදියට අපි organizational growth එකට යන්න. So this is all about the subject. ඒක දැන් ඕගොල්ලන්ට මේ වචන හැම මේ subject එක පුරාම ඇහෙනවා. You can't avoid it. You can't avoid it. So මේක අපි බලන්නේ දැන් මේ point එකේ හැටියට අපි දැන් කතා කරන point එකේ හැටියට right ඔය අපි කියපු inclusive culture එක equality එක සමානත්මතාවය කියන එක sustainability එක good governance කියන එක transparency එක trust එක credibility එක social initiatives corporate social responsibilities ඔය දේවල් කොහොමද customer ට බලපාන්නේ supplier ට බලපාන්නේ intermediate බලපාන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝගේ values change වෙන්නේ කොහොමද ඒගොල්ලෝගේ expectations change වෙන්නේ කොහොමද මෙන්න මේවා අනුව එක එක්කෙනාගේ expectations එක එක්කෙනාගේ behavior එක එක්කෙනා in the sense your stakeholders behavioral values expectations consumption patterns buying patterns are changing so you got to identify how these things are changing otherwise you also might wonder okay මේ හැම තැනම කතා කරන්නේ එකම වචන සෙට් එකක් ගැන of course guys yes of course but මේකේ deep learning එක යන්නේ අපි මේක පැති ගොඩකින් identify කරගන්න. පැති ගොඩකින් identify කරගන්න. දැන් මෙතන උදාහරණයක් විදිහට අපි කතා කරොත් එහෙම stakeholders ලගේ emerging values මොනවද? දැන් මේ අලුතෙන් එන values මොනවද? ඒගොල්ලෝ බලන දේවල් මොනවද? investors ලා බලන මොනවද? customers ලා බලන්නේ මොනවද? suppliers ලා බලන්නේ මොනවද? intermediaries ලා බලන්නේ මොනවද? support කරන්නේ කොයි වගේ organizations වලද? customers ලා බඩු ගන්නේ මොන වගේ organizations වලද? So we need to identify. So these are the things that are coming up right now. What we were talking about. So පැහැදිලිද නැත්නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ බලේ මේ මෙතන මොකද දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට now those days we talk about the shareholder capitalism. In the sense enhancing the profit for shareholders. ඉස්සර අපි කතා කරේ. දැන් අපි කතා කරන්නේ stakeholder capitalism. So what do you mean by the shareholder capitalism and the stakeholder capitalism? Now the shareholder capitalism is a capitalism which we have been using. ඒ කියන්නේ shareholder ගේ value එක enhance කරන්න. Return on investment එක enhance කරන්න. Equity value එක share equity එක enhance කරන්න. Right? ඒක තමයි shareholder capitalism කියලා කියන්නේ. But modern initiatives, people are selecting companies where they have stakeholder capitalism. So what do you mean by the stakeholder capitalism? Stakeholder capitalism in the sense you are talking about, okay, you are sharing your value among all the other stakeholders, not only for the shareholders. එකකින් අදහස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ profit එක share කරනවායි කියලා. නෑ ඒ profit එකෙන් ආයි benefit එකක් in return you are giving to the society. In return, you are giving to the customer. In return, you are giving to your employees. In return, you are giving to your suppliers. In return, you are giving to your general public. So this is what the stakeholder capitalism is all about. එතකොට ඒ වගේ companies ගැන මිනිස්සුන්ගේ එන image එක මොකද්ද? ඒ වගේ companies ගැන මිනිස්සුන්ගේ එන image එක positive. Stakeholders ලාගේ එන image එක positive. ඒ positive image එක නිසාම company එකට එන brand equity එක brand value එක reputation එක recognition එක හින්දා company can easily grow and the shareholder values also increasing in return. Market capitalization is increasing in return. So these things are the areas where we need to look at. Organizations වලට එන impacts, right? So brand leaderships වලට යන්න පුළුවන්. Right? එතකොට ඒවයින් තමයි අර අපිට අපේ power එක internal organization එකේ තියෙන power එක enhance කරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්. Competitive advantage එක we can increase. What do you mean by the competitive advantage? Competitive advantage in the sense you become stronger, you are becoming stronger than your competitor and delivering better values than your competitor to the target market and the target audience. You are delivering a better competitive advantage. You are competitively stronger than your competitor. And your products and services that are delivered to the target market and the target audience are better than your competitors. So that is where you talk about your competitive advantages. So when you talk about these environmental sustainability initiatives, you gain those values to the organization. Right? ඒවා organization එකට positively බලපුවා. ඒකයි මම කියන්නේ. So these are non-financial benefits, right? Then behavioral shift ගත්තොත් අපි market එකේ තියෙන දැන් අපි කතා කරනවා තමයි මේ diversity එක, right? equality කියන එක. අපිට හැමෝටම එකම විදියට සලකනවා, right? වෙනසක් නැහැ. අපි කියන්නේ disable අයටත් දැන් කියන්නේ differently able. fail කියන්නේ not yet competent කියන දේ. ඔය එක ලස්සන සමහර ඒවා ඇත්තටම කැටයන් කියලා තියනවා. right හිතනවා තමයි. I know. right දැන් මම කියන්නේ මොකද organization එක කියලා because we were working with one of the agreement and when we said okay our fail mark is I mean student fail if they don't score 50 then they said you don't call fail you have to call not yet competent. Not yet competent in the fail but I mean let's look at the positive side and they don't want to impact the mindset of the person negative. That is why rather saying fail, they call not yet competent. ලංකාවෙත් ඒක තියෙනවා කියලා මම දැනගත්ත පස්සේ මේව කරනකොට. fail කියලා කියන්නේ not yet competent කියලා කියන්නේ. එතකොට තාම ඒ competent level එකට ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ. ඔය වගේ එක දේවල් තියෙනවා. right මේ දේවල් world එකට එන්නේ මේ world එකේ තියෙන ඒ දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට අපි අරගත්තොත් එහෙම war එක අරගන්න. war එක අපි අරගත්තොත් එහෙම සමහර communities are right against different communities now. So which means when you promote inclusivity, when you promote diversity, right? So then you can mitigate that. ඒක තමයි ඒ කියන්නේ. ඒක තමයි ඒ කියන්නේ. දැන් ඒ communities අතර තියෙන clashes avoid කරන්න පුළුවන් inclusivity එක, diversity එක encourage කරලා. community අතර තියෙන clashes අඩු කරන්න. Now when you really look at the countries like Singapore, right? They don't allow a one particular community to get together. Right? දැන් බලන්න සිංගප්පූර් සිස්ටම් එක අපි අරගත්තොත් එහෙම ඒකේ community groups හැදෙනකොටම they break from the law itself they break because they highly work on the diversity they always mix the community එක mix කරනවා right ඒතර එක තැන්වල cluster හැදිලා ඉවර වෙලා එතන එක community එකකට power එක දීලා යහම අන්න එතන තමයි clashes එන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. So they highly believed on this diversity and the equality and you know. So එතන ඒක purposely government එකෙන්ම control කරගෙන යනවා. Whenever they identified, they take strong steps and mitigate it. So this is where they talk about. Right? ඒතර ඒ වගේ ආවහම develop වෙගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්. But unfortunately what has happened to the European world right now? Right? You know, I mean Israel-Palestine war, right? And created an impact, right, in Gaza. And most of the Middle East communities are, I mean, moving towards the European world, right, European region. So now because of this, look at how the society had become imbalanced. There are so much of clashes, right? එතකොට දැන් ඒව avoid කරගන්න පුළුවන් හරි විදියට ethically inclusivity එක practice කරනවා. ethically diversity එක practice කරනවා. right? අර ඒ දේවල් හින්දා තමයි මෙන්න මේ දේවල් එළියට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. So we need to identify that. So these things are affecting organizations in this way. Like these things are affecting organizations in this way. So inclusive ethics and accessibility for, I mean, without limiting for a particular audience, you make your products available for anyone, right? To get the barrier-free experience with the products and services. So those things you are making. ඒකත් එක්ක ඇත්තටම ආපු දෙයක් තමයි if you really want to know, right? Even for the accessibility to a building or office premises. So let's say wheel park access or let's say what do you call this animal or care dogs access, right? එහෙම තියෙන විදිහට buildings හදන්නේ, right? එතකොට anyone can be part of it, no? Okay, anyone can be part of it. So මෙන්න මේව තමයි එතකොට දැන් අපි එයා differently able, දැන් අපි disable කියන්නේ differently able කියලා ඉවල අපි එයාව වෙනස් කරන්නේ එයාට උනත් අපි ඉන්න society එකත් එක්ක move වෙන්න පුළුවන් විදියට. තමයි even when you are making a location, banks වලට wheelchair access තියලා, right? අපි හිතමු ඒ ability එක නැති කට්ටියට let's say technology wise voice commands වලින් කතා කරන්න, visual disabilities තියෙන කට්ටියට voice commands වලින් කතා කරලා solutions අරගන්න, services අරගන්න. ඒත් අර ඒ වගේ එක එක mechanisms හදලා තියෙන්නේ මෙන්න මේ දේවල් focus කරලා. We need to identify them. We need to identify them. පැහැදිලිද guys ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේ යන path එක? මේ subject එක ටිකක් වෙනස් එකක් මම කියන්නේ. මේ යන path එක පැහැදිලිද? මොකද්ද මෙතන යන්නේ කියන එක? දැන් මේකේ macro level එකකින් අපි identify කර ගන්නවානේ කොහොමද එහෙමනම් මේක මගේ organization එකට how am I going to basically connect to my organization and design strategies to uplift my organization කියන එක. Because when you look at the broader view only and how the stakeholders are basically aligned with this these concepts, the societal concept, then we design strategies to uplift කියන එක තමයි උතන. පැහැදිලිද මේ මොකද්ද අපි මෙතන කතා කරන්නේ කියන එක? හැමතිස්සෙම practically බලන්න, then you can easily remember this. Any questions? Any questions? Anyone is having any questions? Key behavioral shift, another one, circular economy. Circular economy කියලා කියන්නේ recycling, remanufacturing. Now even there's another trend, guys, right? Now this is a new research article what I came across. Godak young generation, like I'm talking about the global context, not in the local context, okay? So Godak young generation එක expensive අලුත් automobiles වලට යනවට වඩා ඒගොල්ලෝ ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට දැන් trend එක ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ, especially the young community, those who are in the gig economy, right? So they are more towards buying and refurbishing used vehicles, used furniture, used even clothing, right? For consumption, right? They are reducing their consumption because the consumption is contributing to the economy. If we are consuming, if we are over consuming, it is contributing, it is basically affecting the economy. So they identify this. The circular economy contribution they identify. So they are coming up with less consumption initiatives. So that is another thing. Sharing economy, right? Shared economy once again. I mean, even let's say, for instance, you are talking about sharing your office space. Shared economy. Space share කරන එක, transport share කරන එක වෙන්න පුළුවන්, you know. So rather keeping a particular place specifically for you. Now Airbnb is one of the significant concern. Now whenever you want to gain an economic benefit and you basically put your house into a Airbnb and sell it. This is what you do, right? So you need to identify. Carbon free economy. මේවා තමයි අලුත් trends, අලුත් shifts society එකට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. මේව අපි identify කරගන්න. right? මොකද මේවට තමයි මිනිස්සු වියදම් කරන්නේ. Now see this video මේක නම් ටිකක් වෙලා යන වීඩියෝ එකක්, so I don't want to run that video මොකද it takes bit of a time, but the link is there so that you all can read it. මේක දැක්කහම
How do we create a future in which both people and nature can thrive? This is the biggest question of our times. In the next few decades, we need to do something unprecedented, achieve a sustainable existence on Earth. But how do we do it? We can start by understanding how we got to this point. 20,000 years ago, humankind consisted of less than 1 million
Can you hear
hunter-gatherers
this?
across the globe.
Anyway,
We lived
So I will-
within the resources on offer,
I just want to see whether
in
you can hear
balance with
this.
nature. A strategy that could theoretically last forever. But it wasn't an easy life. Nature determined our survival. We used our unique minds to challenge that
So I will let
reality.
you all watch
We
it because you have the access ne. So බලන්න දැන් එතකොට you all can identify how the nature, how the environmental sustainabilities are needed කියන එක. ඇත්තටම guys environmental sustainabilities are needed in big time the way it goes right now and even when you really look at the recent flood scenario I wonder whether I was talking to you. The people, those who, I mean, I'm not saying everybody, but some of the people who got affected who were going against the environment, ne? You would have seen them, right? And the sustainability initiatives must be there in that. පැහැදිලිද අපි යන අපි drive කරන side එක මොනවාද තියෙන questions guys? So have a look at on these videos. So because I'm not going to talk about 1.3 today, but the stakeholder concerns. මේ points ටිකත් එක්ක stakeholder concern එක ආපු විදිය පැහැදිලිද? මොනවද තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න? You guys are a bit silent. Any question? Any question? මොනවද තියෙන questions ඕගොල්ලන්ට? Hello? Any question? Dino, what about you? Sharma?
Everything is clear, sir, but when it comes to the matrix, should we remember the matrix? Like, what does it really mean? Like, when it comes to Mendelow's matrix, the high and the the
Okay.
interest and the power part, do we have to
Okay, for this subject, of course, no. Right? For this subject, of course, no. I was taking these metrics and this model to show how we are basically looking at the stakeholders, identifying the stakeholder. Subjects like marketing impact or the strategy and planning. Sometimes you might have to remember these metrics, but not in this, right? Here you got to identify, okay, I mean, why I was using it to show how we identify the stakeholders. Kavadavat, there won't be a question asking how do you identify the stakeholders and what metrics you are using to identify the stakeholders, or how the, let's say, how the Mendelow's matrix works in the stakeholder analysis, or how the linkage model connected to the stakeholder and explain the linkage model. Because that is not the subject what we are into, right? This is not that type of subject. Here they will even come up with questions like, okay, what is the Paris Agreement is all about? How the Paris Agreement connected to the social impact, you know? So that type of thing. UN sustainability initiatives, how those initiatives can be affected to the organizations. So like that, you might get questions, but you won't ask questions like that. Metrics එක මේ metrics එකෙන් මොකක්ද කරන්නේ එහෙම ආන්නේ නැහැ. You know? ඒක මම මේ metrics මම ගේන්නේ මොකද්ද ඕගොල්ලන්ට මේකේ connectivities හදන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් මම නිකම්ම කියාගෙන ගියාම දැන් ඕගොල්ලෝ දැන් මම මෙතන දැන් උදාහරණයක් විදිහට මම මෙතන slide එකට stakeholders ලා 4ක් 5ක් දාලා ඉවරලා මම ඔය 4න් 5න් විතරක් කතා කරොත් එහෙම ඔච්චරක් නෙමෙයිනේ අපිට ඉන්නේ. දැන් මේ ස්ලයිඩ් එකට මම දැම්මේ ස්ටේක් හෝල්ඩර්ස් 4ක් 5ක් මෙතන තියෙන්නේ. යා. හරිද? මේක ගත්තොත් කස්ටමර්ස්ලා ඉන්නවා, එම්ප්ලොයිස්ලා ඉන්නවා, ඉන්වෙස්ටර්ස්ලා ඉන්නවා, කමියුනිටිස් ඉන්නවා. ඔච්චරක් නෙමෙයිනේ අපේ ස්ටේක් හෝල්ඩර්ස්ලා ඉන්නේ. තේරෙනවද? අපේ ස්ටේක් හෝල්ඩර්ස්ලා කියලා කිව්වහම guys it's a huge spectrum. It's a huge network of stakeholders we are working with. So if you are to design proper CSR initiatives, ESG initiatives, triple bottom line initiatives, you need to have a clear idea about your stakeholders. අනේ ඒක පෙන්නන්න තමයි මම මේ ඇනලිසිස් එක ගෙනලා පෙන්නන්නේ. එහෙම නැතුව එතන question එකකින් ඕගොල්ලෝගෙන් අහන්නේ මේ මොඩල් එක කොහොමද කියලා. They are not going into that level. Clear නේද? But for your knowledge, try to remember for your knowledge. කටපාඩම් කරන්න යන්න එපා, get the idea. මොකද කටපාඩම් කරොත් ඔය මොඩල්ස් වරදිනවා. එකක් තමයි උදාහරණයක් විදිහට දැන් මම අර ඉස්සෙල්ලා කිව්වේ දැන් සමහර ඒගොල්ලෝ කටපාඩම් කරලා කියනවා right okay supplier ඉන්නේ low powerful high interest මෙතන කියලා කියන්නේ. හරිද? Not always. සමහර companies are controlled by suppliers. ඒතර supplier power is very high. right supply ගේ interest එක ඔයාගේ company එකට නෑ සමහර. ඒතර supply ගේ power එක වැඩි, interest එක අඩුයි. Let's say you are working with a supplier who is the sole supplier for that particular material. No matter what, you have to bend in front of it. No, you have to kneel down in front of him. He might dictate terms on you and say, hey, look here, you just go and fly a kite. I'm not supplying you. What are you doing after that? You can't do anything because if he stops supplying you, his power is he's having a higher bargaining power than your bargaining power. එතකොට දැන් මේ අපි මේ theory එකේ විදිහට supply මෙතනට දාලා දැම්මොත් ඒ වගේ supply කෙනෙකුත් මෙතනට આવොත් අපි හිතනවා අපිට control කරන්න පුළුවන් supply කෙනෙක් කියලා. No, not like that. ඒකයි මම කියන්නේ මේ theories කටපාඩම් කරන්න එපා guys. right? මොකද හැම shareholderම high power high interest නෙමෙයි හොඳේ. හැම shareholderම high power high interest නෙමෙයි. හැම shareholder කෙනෙක්ටම high power එකක් නැහැ. trading shares තියෙන කෙනත් shareholder technically Colombo Stock Exchange එකේ trading buying and shares ගන්න මේ shareholder technically shareholder කෙනෙක්. ඒකට එයාට high power නැහැ. His power is low because he doesn't have the voting right. Though he's a shareholder, he doesn't have the voting power. voting power එකකින් නැති එක්කෙනෙක්ට අපි high power තියෙන කෙනෙක් කියලා කියන්න බෑනේ. company එක decisions වලට influence කරන්න බැරි එක්කෙනෙක්ට. ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ මොකද trading shares ගන්න එක. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ට වැඩක් නැහැ company එක හැදෙනවද නැද්ද කියලා. company එක වැඩනවා නම් ටක් ගාලා shares ටික විකුණලා සල්ලි ගන්නවා. So low interest. low interest. එතකොට හැම shareholderම අපි මෙතනට එපුවොත් හරියනවද නැහැ. So like that guys ඒක අපි හරියට identify කරගෙන අපි දාන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැතුව අපි theory එකක් විතර කටපාඩම් කරගෙන ගහුවොත් ඒක අමාරුයි. මේ Mendelow's but linkage model එකේ clearly කියනවා මේවා තමයි linkages කියලා. මේක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. functional linkages මේවා right enabling මේවා right. ඉතින් අපි identify කරගන්නනේ අපේ organization එකට අදාළ. Now let's say if I'm talking about some of my devices. So TCRCSL is one of the enabling organization. මොකද high power මොනවා හරි antenna එකක් ලංකාවට ගේනවා නම් right මොනවා හරි project එකකට අපි හිතමු frequency එක change කරපු device එකක් ලංකාවට ගේනවා නම් ඒතර මම defense එකේ approval එකයි TCRC එකේ approval එකයි දෙකම ගන්න. ඒතර මගේ enabling stakeholders ලා වෙන්නේ කවුද? TCRCSL එකයි Telecommunication Regulation Commission එකයි Ministry of Defence එකයි. එතකොට දැන් ඒක ඕගොල්ලන්ට නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හොටෙල් එකකට ඒක නැති වෙන. හොටෙල් එකකට වෙන්න පුළුවන් සමහර වෙලාවට UD එක වෙන්න පුළුවන් හොටෙල් එකට approval එක දෙන RD එක වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඒකට මේ permission එක දෙන එක මේ වලට environmental related authority එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් right ඒ වගේ organization එකෙන් organization එකට enabling stakeholders ලා diffuse linkages ලා normative linkages ලා වෙනස් අපි ඒකෙන් ඒක identify කරගන්නවා දැන් මෙතනදී ඒ linkage pattern එකයි නමුත් මෙතනදී ඒක වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන් power එක interest එක. ඉතින් මේවා කටපාඩම් කරන්න එපා. model එක identify කරගෙන model එක implement කරන විදිහ identify කරගත්තා නම් you will be in a safe wicket. පැහැදිලිද? Any concern? was asking that Dinuk නේද? Dinuk clear නේද?
Yes, sir, clear.
Shamal, what about you, Upekshana? රවණ සාරි ඉඳලා පොඩ්ඩක් ස්පීඩ් කරමු.
Yeah, sir, clear. I'm just processing things and I'm wondering from where I'm gonna ask questions. Okay.
Okay. Right. Whatever not clear, ask, okay? Right. Shamal, how about you? Right, cool scene. So guys, then we'll quit for the day. So I'm not going to talk about 1.3 today. Right, now we need to take the latter part, 1.3. Right, then we'll start that next week and finish it off that module spec 1. Okay, guys, then. Thank you very much. We'll meet up in next week. Good luck then.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.